In this video, we're going to start exploring the idea of couples, and it's a very simple concept. So what we have is, let's say we have a rigid body, such as like a rod or something, that lies in space on a two-dimensional plane. And what we have are two forces, or it could be more than one force, and the resultant force ends up being a couple. But we could say we have two forces, F, and then force F on this side pointing in the opposite direction. So if you do the sum of the forces of this diagram, so let's say we define our x-axis and y-axis in this fashion, so the x-axis points along the rod, so this would be x and y. If we take the sum of the forces, we could say that the sum of the forces in the y is equal to F minus F, which equals 0. So as we can see here, there's no net force acting on this object. But since the forces are acting at a distance, let's say from here, the center of mass, there is actually a moment. So when we apply the concept of a moment, so we define the moment being positive in this direction. So we take the moment about the center of mass, which I call O, we could do that. So we'll say this length is d, and we could define the moment by this dimension. So we could say F is pointing this way, which is negative, and F is rotating this way, which is also negative. So we could say negative 2FD. So as you can see here, what's special about couples is that although there's no net force acting upon this object, there's actually still a moment occurring. So we have to keep in mind when we solve for couples, or when we notice a couple, that there is still a moment being applied.